Welcome to another episode of Cocktails with Cousins. I'm Erica.
I'm KD.
And we are back to talk about Married at First Sight, Houston, episodes 13 and 14. We know you missed us last week, but we wouldn't leave you hanging on those two episodes. We're going to go ahead and get started. Before we do get started, though, go ahead and hit the like and share button. Does not cost you a thing to like the video, does not cost you a thing to share and subscribe to our channel. With that being said, let's roll right on into this thing. First up, Hurricane K and Zach. Look, all I got to say is they're not ready for marriage. Those two are a mess in their own rights. Like every time you turn around, there's something new. But like week 13, they were doing well. Like they was, hanging out, having fun. They went to, their visits with the experts, and then they started talking about decision day. Like what in the world?
Right. But I feel Michaela on how she said she didn't want to sleep in the same bed with him if the decision was going to be no.
Exactly. And I don't even know why they were talking about decision day. It's not decision day. Like, just keep rolling with the punches until it's decision day. And when it's decision day, if you're going to say no, then just go ahead on about your business. Although, I just don't understand them. Like, it just seems like they're happy at one moment, and then the next thing you know, they're like at each other's throat. And
I feel like Zach is trying to get the show over to make it to decision day, and he's gonna be out.
Right.
And Michaela knows that, and so she's thinking, why wait for decision day?
Yeah, she made some good points. I mean, she is Hurricane Kayla. However, she had some valid points. I don't know if you remember this most recent episode 14. They were sitting outside chit-chatting or whatever, talking about, the thing that they had about decision day. And he was like, well, what I want to do is I want to make it to decision day, say no, get a divorce, and then date. And she was like,
right.
What?
Yeah. And so this other couple, I think it was in Charlotte or one of them cities, I don't know. The husband wanted to do that too. And the wife was like, no, absolutely not.
Right. Because you either like me married while we're married and we can go with it, or just let's go get a divorce and be on our merry way. Like, there's no point. Now I could see if you would say, let's make it to decision day, say yes, give ourselves a time frame, and then if we're still not feeling each other, then we'll go ahead and get a divorce. But I'm not
right
gonna force you and then date you again, because already says you don't want me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And why would I go through this legally binding contract twice with somebody who already said they didn't want me?
Right. But we got to talk about
go ahead.
When Michaela was Hurricane K.
I was just getting to that. Like,
that was
your thoughts.
Was unacceptable behavior.
Yes. It was funny to me though, because she was like, bet I don't need no ride, I'll get home, and so you can go ahead on and leave now, leave tonight.
Yeah, so I like the way she called her sisters. You can tell that she is the youngest.
Yes,
she is the younger child, and she's gonna call her sisters at every drop of a dime.
Mm-hmm.
When they fight.
Yes.
And look at him, call his brothers.
Yep. They both have that in common. And it's funny because it's like she called her sister, and then he started talking to her sister or whatever. So it seems as if the families have at least kind of built a rapport with each of them. I don't remember the part where they were on their way to the couples retreat, and they stopped off and were talking or whatever, and she was talking about how she had talked to her sisters and his brothers or whatever. So I think that part is good, but I just don't think they just need to go head on. She already moved out. He needs to move out. They just need to leave the apartment empty and keep it moving. But I thought that Bao gave her some really good advice when they were on the couples retreat and they were like having that, that conversation about him and her, just having that disagreement. And Bao was like, just try to lay it all out there and see if it can work or whatever. And she went into that bedroom that night to attempt to try to work it out. But then things just went awry.
Yeah, they keep going tit for tat.
Yes. I thought it was funny when Ryan was like, well, he's a grown man. I mean, what am I supposed to do to make him stay? Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't think that the teaser for that was 100% like I just was waiting for more. And although her behavior was unacceptable and Bao kept peeking out her door. Did you see that?
My husband said that would Bao is me because I'm nosy.
You'd have been like, I can't stop looking. And that's basically what Bao was doing. She was like,
yeah,
it's bad, but I want to see. But I guess Michaela definitely has some growing up to do, because like she went in and through the bench, and then she slammed the door, and then they heard some of the other couples were talking about they heard dishes breaking or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would just feel absolutely ashamed to have it that way in front of all those people.
Yeah.
Like she could have went in the room and said nothing.
Ryan said on the Unfiltered that he and Bao was calming Zach down. So maybe to get him to stay and leave the next day. But when Michaela came out there, she just threw all that away.
I could believe that. I could absolutely believe that. I thought it was interesting that they were even staying in the same bed with each other. Like I was just like, why? And then I'm mad at Married at First Sight. Why y'all go get that place knowing good and well you needed more bedrooms than that? With this season, you needed 10 bedrooms because you didn't know who was gonna be sleeping together. Y'all got them people sleeping on the couch. Been mad. But anywho, I'm just interested to see, what is gonna happen. Who was on the Unfiltered, Zach or Michaela? Did she say
Michaela was on it last week.
Okay. Did she say the relationship was over? Because I remember Jamie asking her that. I don't know what her answer was though.
I think it was, pretty much.
Gotcha. I mean, it pretty much needs to be over with anyway.
Yeah.
They're not ready. They both need to go through intensive personal counseling before be married to anybody else. She has to mature and control her temper, and he has to stop trying to be a perfectionist. That's my opinion.
Right. And he has to stop bringing up, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like if it's in the past, let it move on.
Right. Let it be. I mean, y'all done already said it. And it was so funny because the week before they were doing so well, like going on dates, having fun, giggling with each other. And then, this week was a mess. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, let's move right on to this Jose and Rachel. Jose got the business from Dr. Pepper, didn't he? She said, you do seem control.
Yeah.
Just called him.
And she was right on.
She sure was. We said she likes to bring the heat. What did you think of the conversation overall?
I thought it was good. She held him accountable.
Definitely. And then Rachel too. I thought that her and Pastor Cal had a good conversation as well. She was kind of getting to a realization that she has to kind of be, firm within her own self. And I see her evolving over these last 2 episodes. They haven't had much screen time, but the time that they have had, I've seen that she is saying what's on her mind and not being, how she was with the whole vacation stuff. I just thought it was more meaningful. One thing that's what I was trying to say. She was saying, well, not to this note, but another note. When she was talking about the fact, she was like, I don't know if that outburst is really him and if it's going to happen again.
Right.
That's what I think Pastor Cal.
It will happen again.
It is going to happen
but
again.
Maybe he can control it without cussing as much.
Right, and locking the door accidentally, of course.
That was not a damn accident.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. He took Dr. Pepper's advice to heart. He shut right on up when she said he was controlling. And he started thinking about that thing, and you could tell he was processing it. So, I mean, that's all I have to say about them. They're good, and they didn't have anything going on this week at all.
Right.
So moving right along. R&B, Ryan and Brett. What do you have to say about them, ma'am?
Okay. I wish that Ryan would talk to Brett instead of talking to everyone else about the situation involving Brett. And she said out of her own mouth, she said that she said it to him. He's been talking about her to everyone else instead of her. Exactly. I wish that he would talk to her. And then he expects her to see from his actions that he just wanted to be friends instead of just saying he just wanted to be friends. He was not feeling her like that.
He did. He said that a few times throughout the episode, at least this week or whatever. And then his actions last week said the same thing. And I think that she's reading his actions.
Right.
She just wants him to be a man and say it also. Like, I wonder what she's thinking now that she's seen these episodes and she's seen all these recordings of her room and bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she is somewhere cussing.
And how is... Yeah. And like Ryan said he took Dr. Pepper's advice and he said he was gonna show up more in his relationship, but he didn't tell Brett what Dr. Pepper said, and so she's checked out. And that's the real reason why they were sleeping in she wanted him to sleep in a different bedroom to her. And because I like the way Zach called him out. He said, what's the difference in you sleeping in a separate room here on the retreat and them sleeping in the separate room in an apartment?
Right. I was like, spot on, Zach. Look, that's some really good advice. But there is no difference, especially since he didn't say anything about what he was trying to do. Like, he was just, I mean, I guess he wanted her to read his mind, and I can't understand why he wanted her to read his mind. Going back to that episode beforehand, he kept talking about first off, who in the world told them that it was okay for Johnny and Ryan to have a conversation about a relationship? That was like two absolute wrong people to have conversation about it. Like, what? Y'all two been showing up here or whatever. He said that he was forcing it, but I'm trying to figure out what is he forcing, because he ain't tried nothing. Like, absolutely.
And Johnny was talking about bad about Ryan, but he ain't no better.
Right. I was like, what? Like, pot and kettle, right? I mean, a right example of it. And then, like I said, that recording of her video, of her bathroom and room, like, that's a conversation. Like, he could have easily gone to her and been like, yo, like, I know
it was bad, Erica.
It was bad, but he should have told her. Why did he have to film it and not even have a conversation with her about it?
Right.
You know who he told. He told his sister for sure. And she was like, I've been waiting to talk to his sister because I feel like she can help me understand. That's their problems. They are waiting to talk to other people and not waiting to talk to each other or whatever. But you're right, it was bad. I was like, dang. Like, she must have been trying to, like, she was throwing clothes like a mad woman in the morning time. I don't know.
That's how I used to be getting ready for school in the morning. I can't lie.
Look, that's why when I saw it, I was like, I know exactly what happened. She was taking her time, and then she realized, like, shoot, I gotta be there to sign in.
Us teachers, we know.
Right. But I mean, I used to come back in the afternoon and clean up though. It's
Right.
just left it. Oh my goodness. Dr. Pepper said that she was disappointed in him, and I agree. I was disappointed in him. I don't feel like he tried past the honeymoon. Like,
Yeah.
sister says that he came back and something distracted him. I need his sister just go hunt on and say what it is. Like, don't be leaving out no teasers like that. Oh, but something may be distracting him. Like what? I'd have been like, what? Like what, sister? Tell me what what's distracting him? What's distracting him is that he had checked out. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He wasn't interested. I said that his actions sucked because I just wish he would say something. Like every time he gets ready to say something, then he'd be like start stuttering and can't get words up.
But
so
I'm disappointed in Brent too, because Pastor Kyle told her to ask him when he checked out, and she didn't ask him.
And I couldn't understand why not. I was like, she told me, oh, it was mostly for me. I was like, no, it was for y'all. Like, call him on it, see what he says. Yeah, I was disappointed in that too. Because I couldn't understand why she didn't ask. I did realize that in this most recent episode, episode 14, she did try to like throw a little bit of that into the conversation. But she still wasn't like, she still didn't own it and just say what Pastor Cal told her to say. And I'm pretty sure Ryan was upset when they went shooting and she absolutely wanted no parts of it.
Yeah.
That's what he wants. He wants somebody who's into it. And I was like, look at Bao.
At least Bao tried it, but in Brett's defense, she was already checked out at that point.
This is
Brett
true.
And Johnny. Yeah.
And then the conversation that her and Johnny had, I just thought it was very interesting. One, because Johnny it's just interesting to me altogether. Interesting in a bad way. But she would, I feel like even in that conversation, she was trying to defend him. And I'm like, girl, what are you defending him for? Like, wait till you see these videos. You ain't gonna be defending him then. I mean, other than that, they're done. Like he waited entirely too late to try. And then he didn't even tell her he was trying.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Dr. Pepper had to guilt trip him into trying.
Yeah. One thing that Brett said that I thought was very, very much true and may have impacted his at least thinking of the situation was when she said, whenever I try to be honest with you, you view it as negative. Do you remember that conversation they had? Oh God, was it when they were talking? Staying in the bed? I was like, yeah, because it seems as if he kind of shuts down at any negative, what he feels to be negative or whatever. So I don't know. I would just say it. Like if he wants to think it's negative and shut down, then he does him. But at least he won't say I didn't say it. That would be, or whatever. But anywho, they ain't gonna make it. Let's move on. All right, let's move on to Gil and Mirla. When I tell you I have 2 sentences about them, I have absolutely 2 sentences about them. When they're in love and getting along, they're boring.
Okay, not always, but sometimes.
Let's see. I thought that their interviews were pretty good. It was funny how both of them ended up kind of talking about the same exact thing. And Dr. Pepper gave Mirla kind of the business too, because she said, look, you're going to keep being negative Nancy, and that man going to get tired of listening to you complain all the time.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the thing about it is, I think that Mirla listens and she processes and she tries to use it to be a little bit better. Although they went right on that horse ride and she was back to being negative again. But
let's talk about how Mirla was drunk. Because she thought that it was going to be boring. And so that's why she went out with her girlfriends and got lit.
I have never seen anybody get ready for the expert reviews by going out and having discount margaritas
Right.
in the world. She came in from the wrong way and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I
That
thought
was funny.
that was hilarious. And Dr. Pepper was like, but you're not here yet. Like, you're not sober yet. We still gonna have this conversation. I just want you to know that you're not sober. Yeah,
And it was funny how when they were playing Most Likely To, everybody said her. When it was what was it?
Most likely ready to leave or something like that. That's
yeah.
Because she probably didn't even want to come on the couples retreat.
Right. That's what they said. And she was complaining about when they got there, she would rather have separate cabins.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they didn't have at least some type of separate quarters or whatever. But maybe it was New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans was in the middle of the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I remember they had those little cabins, those little cabins,
right.
Which call it. So when they were all together again, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. They usually do have them all stay together.
Yeah.
But getting back to a new normal.
But it was nice to see her getting along with everybody and doing things that everybody was doing. She was outside when Hurricane Michaela and Zach happened. Yeah. And Johnny was in a bed asleep. So
he must have had her drinking spirit that night and couldn't hang or whatever. But yeah, she did. She was trying to hang out. And then even when Gil called her on being negative after the horse ride, she was like, no, got it. Like, I won't do it again. And she tried to correct it or whatever. Like I said, she has been the one, even though she was like standing firm in her beliefs throughout the whole episode, throughout the whole season, she also is the one who I feel like has adjusted the most to make this experience kind of work. Like, because she said it in another episode, she could have easily focused in on the negative and all the things that she didn't get as a part of this experiment, and she didn't. And I think that's why they've had so much success as a couple. Yeah. Well, that's all I got to say about them. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right, well, look, let's get to the real hurricane. We keep talking about Hurricane K. Let's talk about this Tsunami Johnny. Like, what in the whole world is going on with him?
Johnny with his temper tantrums. I mean, come on, grow up.
Yeah. He is a mess. Oh God, let's go back to last week's episode. For him, I got to break it down by episode because he had so much going on. So he was like, at the beginning of that episode, he was like, oh, I've enjoyed her this week because we've been going on dates, and but now she's trying too hard. Sir, like, what? Like, how is it that you want her to try, but then when she tries, she's trying too hard? Like, you're gonna have to give and take a little bit or whatever. Like, you can't have it both ways or whatever. And then he was like, he feels nothing from their intimacy. Really, sir? Because that's all you want to do is have sex with her.
Right.
That was interesting. Let's see what else. He said that she said that he was never going to be happy. And I agree with her because he has so many expectations. And it seems like you can't ever please him. Like, what do you think?
Listen, Bow is better than me.
Much better.
Because I would have been checked deuces.
She was starting to get fed up with him.
Yeah, I like the way. I wish Paige would have got fed up with Chris. The way Bow has gotten fed up with Johnny.
Exactly. Yeah, and then I was thinking of him in relation to Chris. And I was like, well, is Chris worse than or better than Johnny, because I don't know. Y'all both have your own unique ways of trying to tear a woman down, because that's exactly what both of them were doing. And they ended up in a tie. Because I was like, at first I was thinking, because he made that comment to her, we ran into each other 15 years ago. We could have dated for 15 years and never did. Why do you think that is? I was like, whoa, like talk about stab somebody with a dagger. Like what in the world? If somebody
that was rude. And it was mean.
It was so mean-spirited. Like, and then when he said that this episode when he said, I wish, no, that was the episode before that when he said, I wish I would have been matched with literally anybody else. That was week before last, right? I was like, sir, I'm sure she had been matched literally with anybody else too. Because you are a whole hot mess. And then this week, you could tell Bao was getting fed up. And then I was so confused by his behavior at the cabin that it was just like unheard of, because he was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I don't want to sleep in the bed with her. I mean, I guess we could put some pillows in between us. And I was like, how did you go from, what was it, him or her that wanted to have sex multiple times a day or be spontaneous? Okay, well, she wanted to have sex multiple times a day, and he wanted her to be spontaneous, but now he don't want her to touch him. Like, what in the world? Bao was funny though. She was like, I'm trying to do level 1 with my husband and I hate it.
Yeah, because as she was talking to the girls, she was letting Johnny have it.
She spilled all the beans all the beans on them. They don't trust each other, and it makes sense because she never knows when he's going to get mad and throw a tantrum or whatever. Now I take that back. She doesn't need to trust him, but I don't know why he doesn't trust her. But he doesn't for whatever reason.
And Johnny keeps saying Bao is not the same person on off camera, and we're gonna see at this reunion.
Yeah. Well, then, Michaela on one of those Unfiltered tried to hint towards that as well. And I was like, yeah. I wonder if there's a little bit of truth to what they're saying. Look, and I remember at the beginning of when we first started recording and doing the reviews, we did mention to the fact that we thought that she might get in her own way and ruin the relationship by overanalyzing. So there's a slight possibility that she is overanalyzing, but do you think it's to the extent of what him being as mean as he's been?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's the thing that I'm curious about. Like, when we see it, like, are we going to see that it is, I don't know, worthy of all of that? I don't know. Right. We'll see. Let's see. What else did I miss about them that I wanted to say? She was done with that disrespect, and that he completely disrespectful. Like you said, she is better than me, because I would have been like out. So I don't know. We'll see about them. Anything else you wanted to add about them?
No.
I said Johnny is the biggest gaslighter that I ever have seen, because he will definitely just throw something out there. He'll be like, what in the whole world is going on? Like, why would you say something like that to anybody? Well, look, time will tell. I am just ready to kind of get to decision day, because I kind of have it pegged out of who's gonna make it and who's not.
The next episode is decision day?
No, I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes. They got to come back from the retreat. They got to contemplate being with
each other. They got to meet with their families.
Yeah. So I think it's like 3 days, 3 more episodes until decision day.
Okay.
Can't wait. Let's see how this plays out. I'm almost certain that I know how it's going to play out, but I mean, we'll see.
Right.
All right. Well, I don't remember any predictions. So if you remember any, we can talk about them. But otherwise, I say, look, let's check out. And we'll talk about next week's episode of Married at First Sight.
Right.
Next time, make sure that you go ahead and like the video. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video, and then share it with your friends. Until next time, we'll see you to talk about Married at First Sight, Houston. Bye.
Bye.